Hello artists, today we're going to do a Day of the Dead project. And as many of you know, that it's a Mexican holiday and it's celebrated throughout Mexico and it's acknowledged in many places around the world. And the holiday focuses on gatherings of family and friends to pray for and remember friends and family members who have died and to help support their spiritual journey. Traditions connected with the family include building private altars and honoring the deceased using sugar skulls, marigolds, and the favorite foods and beverages of the departed, and visiting the graves with these gifts. So today we're going to do a step-by-step sugar skull, and I'm going to show you those steps, and you will have your own sugar skull project. Okay, we're going to start with a circle. You see that? About that big. It's about half the size of the paper. And we're going to do a line down here. This is the cheeks. And then come down and make the chin line. I want to come in right away with Sharpie so that you can see it better. I think Day of the Dead is such an interesting holiday. And the idea that we would remember all the people that came before us in our families is so special. Okay, that's a little bit easier to see. Now we're going to add where the eye sockets would be, and then a nose that's going to be upside down heart. So it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but close to a circle. I actually try to not make it a perfect circle. And upside down heart. And then for doing the mouth, I have a nice easy way to do that. A line across, and then I usually start with the middle teeth, but you don't have to. And then I get a little smaller, and then I copy that line at the bottom, those lines, their shapes. And then I want to read to you, before we go any further, a little bit more about some of the Day of the Dead meanings. The skull is considered to represent divine wisdom and intelligence. Sugar skulls refer to life and experience, and an optimistic view of death, representing a connection to the dead that is cheerful and hopeful. Oftentimes in America, when we think of a skull, we think of something scary, but Day of the Dead is not about being scary. It's about being very cheerful and happy and very loving towards your family. They often use a lot of color. Bright colors as yellow, blue, green, and orange give a lively look, and they show that the dead are happy in their afterlife. There is often flowers and leaves that are decorated on sugar skulls. And they reflect that the dead are not really dead, but they're happy in their afterlife. Roses are very common, and they display the contrast between good and evil. Marigolds, the flower of the dead, are sacred flowers, and the strong scent of marigold helps to guide them back. Hearts are decoration to be less frightening. A keyhole, actually I'm going to do a keyhole right in the eye. That represents enlightenment. And stripes and dots and swirls are just whimsical. And candles show that the soul is not really dead. So at this point, any of those things that I've talked about and symbols or shapes or colors can be used. But there's one important thing. The design of the sugar skull is symmetrical. So whatever you have on the left, you have the same on the right, and that goes for shapes as well as colors. So as you're thinking about what designs you would like to use, be concentrating on the symmetry. It doesn't have to be perfect, but give it a try. And you're kind of making it up, so you can use your imagination with how you would like to do that. Sometimes it's hard and you have to think a minute what would be something good to do. But you can't go wrong with anything that looks like flowers or vines. So just have fun deciding what you'd like to do for your designs. Do the same on the left as the right. And if I were you, I would do it in pencil first, and then Sharpie, or something that you can get a black outline with. I wanted you to see it well, so I just jumped into the Sharpie, and it's a little bit faster. They're highly decorated. When you feel good about where you're at with it, then it's time to go to color. Now, I think you know the answer to this, but does the color need to be symmetrical? Yes, it does. So you can't go wrong with the color in the middle. But then once you do one on the left, skip that white one, and this one has to be red. I think it's always fun to get to the coloring time, because then you can just kind of relax and enjoy the process of coloring. I find it very restful. And this would be a very nice time for you to think about people that have passed away in your family, or good friends. Think about things that you liked about them. Maybe there's even qualities that they had that you have. Like maybe they like to read or cook or draw. And maybe you do too. Or maybe you have the same color of eyes or hair. So you're going to take a while to color it all in. Make it gorgeous. Have so much fun. If you need resource material, if you want to try a rose or a marigold, then go online and get a picture. It's very helpful to get reference materials. Now you want to keep the main skull all white. So you actually don't have a whole lot of coloring to do. Just do those decorations. And I'm using marker, but you could certainly use crayons or colored pencils or watercolor. So have a wonderful time, and I can't wait to see your artwork. Bye-bye.